I sit and stare at it, there's nothing else to do. Oh, it's in color. Your hair is brown. Your eyes are hazel and soft as clouds. I often kiss you when there's no one else around. I got your picture. I'd like a million of you all around myself. I want a doctor to take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well. You got me turning up and turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
Konnichiwa. My name is Erik Wait, and you're joining me in my journey through the Wine and Spirit Educational Trust Diploma Program, and I'm currently studying for the Unit 4 exam on spirits. In this video, I'll be doing a review of the Suntory Hibiki Japanese Whisky. It has no age indication, but it is a blended whiskey. Hibiki whiskey is one of Japan's most highly awarded blended whiskeys. It is a blend of at least 10 malt and grain whiskeys, aged in 5 different types of casks from Suntory's Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita distilleries. The Yamazaki distillery is Japan's first and oldest whiskey distillery, established in 1923 by Suntory's founder, Shinjiro Tori. It is located on the periphery of Kyoto, Japan, a region formerly known as Minamoto. Here, the Katsura, Uji, and Kizu rivers converge, providing a unique misty climate and one of Japan's softest waters. But before I get into this whiskey, I'll tell you a little bit about the photos you just saw in the opening scenes of this video. They're taken at a Japanese garden that is only a 5-minute walk from my house. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's sort of secluded from the rest of the city. It has a koi pond with koi fish and turtles and a little bridge, and it has a couple little niches. We can sit and meditate, hang out, and it's a popular photo spot for people doing wedding photos and stuff like that. But I thought it'd be an ideal place to take pictures of the bottle for this video. Well, let's get into it. The whiskey is a light, low-intense amber in color with golden orange around the rim, very similar to the previous whiskeys. And it has high viscosity on the nose, very clean, and has pronounced aromas. I don't even have to put my nose fully into the glass. It's just the nose, the aromas just jump out of the glass. Get tropical fruits, dried tree fruit, stone fruit, floral notes, and citrus. So I get light banana notes, pineapple, perhaps some kiwi, orange, lemon lime, pineapple, banana, guava, papaya, light vanilla notes, a minute amount of white pepper, vanilla, cardamom, baking spices, dried yellow flowers, caramel, butterscotch, toffee. Very complex nose. On the palate, wow. This one's tasty. Just seems like it has a touch of sweetness, medium acid, very round, mouth coating feel. It is silky smooth from start to finish. A little bit of warmth in the back, but there's no spike of heat. There's no grabbing or assault of your palate. This is one you can drink straight and just enjoy it all the way. It has a long finish. On the back end, hold on, let me take another sip. It finishes with vanilla, baking spices, cardamom, cinnamon, a little bit of clove. On entry, it's all fruit. So you get the orange, sort of banana, apricot, pear, peach, a little bit of orange, perhaps a little bit of lemon and lime. In the middle is when the spices sort of kick in and the vanilla kick in, and the taste and the flavor just goes on forever and ever. This is absolutely spectacular. However, one of the things, and I'm just learning about Japanese whiskeys, is if I taste blind a Scotch blended whiskey or single malt Scotch, whether it's peated or not, it's clearly identifiable as a Scotch. An Irish blended whiskey, triple blended whiskey, clearly I think an Irish whiskey. A Tennessee whiskey or Kentucky bourbon clearly have that identity as coming from Kentucky or Tennessee, coming from Kentucky or Tennessee. And the Canadian whiskeys, although a little bit more challenging in terms of figuring out the identity, they do have that definite rye note, setting them apart, making them distinguishable from the United States and the UK. This, however, if I was tasting this blind, I would think it was a Scotch. Which brings in the question is, do Japanese whiskeys have an identity of their own that makes them distinguishable from Scotland or Ireland? Or are they only, and doing it spectacularly, by the way, replicating what Scotland and Ireland have done? Now, clearly they've been around since 1923, so very shortly they'll be hitting their 100-year mark. But I think the challenge is to make a name for themselves as having their own distinct identity. I think also because it is so similar to Scotland, I don't think it would be fair to put this on a blind tasting exam, so I don't expect to see one. So even though I'm studying for an exam, I don't expect this to show up on one. In order for wines or spirits to be testable on exam, they have to have an identity of their own and be clearly distinguishable from other regions. Let me give you an example. Pinot Gris, also Pinot Grigio, known as Pinot Grigio in Italy. Pinot Grigio from Italy is distinguishable from Pinot Gris from, say, Alsace, which is distinguishable from a Pinot Gris from Oregon. And so Pinot Gris or Grigio from Italy or Alsace are completely open to be on blind tasting exams that you should be able to distinguish them from each other. And Pinot Gris is the #1 white wine for Oregon. So while it probably wouldn't be on the certified level of the sommelier exams, it definitely is potential to be on an advanced and master level sommelier exams. And the reason why I mention all this is if you're preparing for exams, you need to taste really good representatives of a particular region and of a particularly good vintage, if it's a vintage designated wine or spirit. And you don't need to spend a lot of time tasting things that aren't testable. You're not going to ever see, say, a Cabernet Sauvignon from Arizona. You're not going to see, a Pinot Noir from the Central Valley of California. You're not, they're just not testable. You're not going to have a whiskey or a bourbon. A bourbon can be made anywhere in the United States. That's from outside of Kentucky. That's the only thing they're ever going to test you on, even if they make it somewhere else. Because it needs to have a typical profile from that particular type of whiskey. So I think this is absolutely fantastic. I'd give it a 90. Give it a clear 90. It sells for about $60 here locally, if you can find it. Not a lot of places are carrying it. I've seen it for as high as $77 elsewhere, and even over $100 online. And particularly since this is not an age indicated, it's not a 12-year, 15, 18-year. It's a non-age indicated whiskey. This is absolutely spectacular. So even though that's a little steep, that's really, it's expensive at $60 a bottle. If you have an opportunity, I think you definitely got to try this. You have to expand your palate. You really got to be familiar with what's going on in the world. And Japan has definitely got something going on. Well, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you have subscribed, I want to thank you. Until next time, cheers.